The cardiovascular disease with associated high fatal and non-fatal cardiovascular events, and it is a progressive and debilitating systemic disease which requires involvement of multiple professionals. There may be ulcers, non-healing ulcers in the patient, foot care is required. It is primarily driven by the atherosclerosis process and it results in ischemia. It involves numerous cells, proteins, and the numerous pathways. It is a complex process. Risk factors, as I told, chronic tobacco use, uncontrolled diabetic, hypertensive, high cholesterol, elevated homocysteine levels, and BMI more than 30. What are the symptoms? What do we see routinely? We see claudications. That patient cannot walk more than 100 meters, more than 200 meters. He or she has to sit down because of the limb pain. So the skin becomes dry, shiny, smooth, thickening of toes, absent pulse, distal pulse in the limbs, and some advanced cases there are sores and non-healing ulcers and dry gangrene. How do we diagnose? We take proper history, examine the pulse, ankle brachial index, we measure the blood pressure in the limbs above the ankle. The easiest is to see on the ultrasound, check the Doppler, measure the flow velocity. Where to treat and for how to treat, we have a roadmap with the CT angiography. We can see where the blocks are there in the arteries, which arteries are blocked, and then do an angiogram and check how to open it up. Differential diagnosis of PAD are multiple. There are vascular and neurological problems also involved in the diabetic patient. So we see for the nerve root compression and spinal stenosis, musculoskeletal causes like osteoarthritis. Treatment. The management protocol first involves how to improve the symptoms and decrease the cardiovascular events. Lifestyle modification is first, in addition to the medical and the interventional invasive therapy. Lifestyle modification is like to ask the patients to stop smoking, diabetic control, strict HbA1c control, hypertensive control, behavioral therapy, patient education, start statins, nicotine replacement therapy. Also, we start blood thinners, aspirin, clopidogrel, or anticoagulant in severe cases. We tell the patients to continue walking, start exercises. All this attempt, even the pharmacological therapy fails, then the best treatment is revascularization. There are two types, endovascular and the open surgery. World is moving more towards minimally invasive and endovascular therapies. The patient with rest pain, in pain while rest also, they are called critical limb ischemic patients, and we do endovascular in them. Depending on the location and severity of blockages and the multiple arterial blockages even below the knee, we do a femoral puncture or the iliac brachial puncture and treat the iliac disease, iliac artery disease, or the femoral artery disease. So, what all things do we have in the endovascular techniques? We do a simple angioplasty, just ballooning the artery and removing the balloon. So, nothing metal or the implant is inserted inside. Sometimes even after a balloon, the stenosis or the narrowing is resistant. When we insert stents, they are the metal stents. We also have now technology of drug-coated balloons, and they inject the drug is coated on the balloon surface, and after on ballooning, the drug gets embedded in the endothelium. So it prevents endothelial hyperplasia and gives long-term results. Coming to a case, 45-year-old male, right lower limb claudication, CT-SST of common iliac artery stenosis. So this was a narrowing of the right common iliac artery, and it is very evident on CT angiographic image. You can see the atherosclerotic vessels, and this is pre-procedure narrowing, and this is post-procedure stenting, and a very good flow across, and the symptoms resolve immediately after the procedure. Another case, 52-year-old female, acute abdomen, more than 90% origin stenosis due to thrombus in the SMA, supramesenteric artery. This is an abdominal ischemia. And you can see the near total occlusion of the supramesenteric artery. This is the aorta, this is the SMA. And this is after stenting. Very good flow across all the vessels in the abdomen. And this is the stenting. So abdominal pain resolves immediately and ischemia resolves immediately. Patient can start food intake from the next day. This patient is a chronic smoker, 65-year-old, with severe claudication, right lower limb. And on ultrasound and CT showed a SFA and tibioperineal trunk stenosis. You can see the stenosis here, critical stenosis in the mid superficial femoral artery. And the popliteal artery is normal. So balloon dilatation was done. And after balloon dilatation, we can see good flow and no stenosis across the runoff of the three vessel runoff, the anterior tibial, the tibioperoneal trunk, peroneal, and the posterior tibial arteries. Good. So this patient had no claudication after the endovascular treatment. This is the next patient with severe hypertension on 4 drugs, not getting controlled. He had a ultrasound and the Doppler showed a renal artery stenosis. Also, MR angio was done, which showed origin stenosis of the renal artery. We did a angiography and confirmed that the renal artery at origin is stenosed. The distal arteries are patent. Placed the balloon and the stent, balloon mounted stent. This is the stenting. Our wire is inside the renal branches, and this is post stenting. Very good flow across the renal artery. This hypertension resolved, and now it is getting controlled very nicely with 2 drugs. So this is the beauty of the endovascular procedures, and with minimally invasive short treatments, with short hospital stay, the results are very good and the complications are less. Thank you.